Hello and welcome to Copperhead Road Homestead. This is the requested Nana Nuggets.
Hi, I'm Nana.
Hello. If you're interested in something like that, then stay tuned. We've done a powwow with Papa before, and I've told you that those are really more than anything for our family. I'm sharing it with everyone, so if you don't want to watch this, totally understand. This is more about our own family and for my kids and their kids in the future. So we're hoping all this sticks around and that it's still available. We're just going to talk about maybe Nana's side of the family some and some things that come up to her mind. Papa and I, whenever we do it, don't really have much of a
Itinerary?
Itinerary, much of an outline to follow. We just chat a little bit, and some of you have asked. Here she is. So what do you think, Nana?
I think Nana Nuggets is cool. I understand that my mother's mother is a Indian princess, but then there's some wavering about that. My maternal grandfather is a medicine man. I happen to have the book where he was a medicine man, but there's very, very little talk about that. My maternal grandfather was a German immigrant, but there's not a lot of talk about that. There's a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of stuff that goes on and went on. My mother was one of 12 children.
So your folks, your mom's side of the family is from West Virginia.
West Virginia, and the part of West Virginia where if you don't know somebody, you don't go there.
And she was a Varian, that's V-A-R-I-A-N.
Correct.
And you were a council. Your dad's side of the family, he's from Paducah area. He's from where we are, nearby anyway.
Nearby.
Not the same county, but close by.
Yes.
So this farm, it was in Papa's side of the family, and his side of the family has been here as far as what I've seen, since before Civil War. But I'm not sure about Daddy Quack. Her daddy's nickname was Daddy Quack, which is an interesting story. Do you want to tell a story, or me too?
When my daddy was a little bitty baby boy, and of course there was outhouses then, when he went to go outside and pee, they had ducks. The duck come out when my daddy was peeing, and the duck nipped his little pee-pee and said, no, that's not a worm, that's my pee-pee. And so they called my daddy Quack.
Well, they called him Duck for a long time, didn't they?
Yeah, that's correct. I apologize.
And then when he married Mama Ida, she changed his name to Quack.
Yeah.
And then he was Quacker. So he was Daddy Quack for us when he was a grandfather. So he was Daddy Quack and Mama Ida. And Daddy Quack was a council from this area.
This area. His roots was actually in Livingston County, and they moved to McCracken County.
And but her mother's side of the family are West Virginians. West Virginia is for lovers, so they say.
Wild, wonderful West Virginia.
Almost heaven.
West Virginia.
Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River.
Yeah. John Denver made that
song famous. Did he write it, or?
I believe he did write it. And
let us know in the comments below, because I'm probably not going to research, but I'll read what you have to say if you're watching.
I am not a singer. I couldn't carry a tune in a 5-gallon bucket.
But so West Virginia, from the area in West Virginia where if you aren't from there, then they are unhappy. So there's a goose over here she's trying to shoo off. It's the one that's lost its mate.
Yes, I am its mate now. But my grandmother is from the West Virginia area. My grandfather is a immigrant from
he's not around.
No, he's not around. From Germany. My mother married. The way my mother and father met is my mother and her sister married brothers and sisters, so we have what's called double cousins, and they had all boys.
Welcome to Kentucky.
No, the, my Aunt Joanne and Uncle Jimmy introduced my dad and my mom. And my dad was a Marine in the Korean conflict. He was a sniper in the Korean conflict.
He was Daddy Quack. I spent a lot of time with him growing up. So Papa's parents, his dad died before I was born, 1970 something, 71.
1970.
And his mama died in 91 when I was just a little guy. I was only like 6 years old. No, I was born 85. She was born 91. So I was almost 7, I suppose, because she died like in December, didn't she? Something like that. What?
She died in January.
Well, anyway,
she died in March.
I was young, so I was 5, 6, 7, something like that. So I was pretty young. Anyway, so I spent a lot of time with my maternal grandparents, Mama Ida and Daddy Quack, and he was, known for ribbing me. And there's one story about my grandfather who, Mom had just told me to, I just got a new pair of pants. She told me it had been raining, and she said, "Don't get these pants wet. Now, whatever you do, don't get these pants wet, or I'm going to spank you." And they were very awful parents.
It was his Sunday clothes.
And my grandfather, we went to the Piggly Wiggly in Reedland, Kentucky. I don't know, it's a food giant now for those of you in the area. Anyway, we went there and there were puddles, and he said, "You follow me." So I followed him, and I just, I'd follow him anywhere. And then he got me near a puddle and he splashed me on purpose. The story that I'm told anyway is that she couldn't spank him and punish him for what he did, so she spanked me, even though he did it, made him watch, and he felt worse than I did at the time. But
Daddy Quack, I trusted you.
They were awful parents. Made me sit in the car because I wouldn't bring my shoes places. They
hated shoes. He hated shoes.
Yeah.
Hated them.
I'm not wearing shoes now. But anyway, West Virginia, Livingston County, I didn't know that.
My maternal grandparents were simple people. They lived on a hill.
Far away? On a hill far away?
On a hill far away. No, they were hillside people. They were coal miners. My grandfather was a coal miner.
So your mom was a coal miner's daughter?
Coal miner's daughter. But she wasn't Loretta Lynn, that's for sure. But he made enough money coal mining that he bought half of the coal mine, and so even though they lived simply,
and they got divorced, and she got the coal mine, he got the shaft.
No, they never got a divorce. they didn't divorce.
She got the coal mine.
I got the shaft. No, they even though they lived simply, they had plenty. But all of the I do know that all of the sons that they had went into service, and as a matter of fact, one of their sons they named after President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, but they named him Franklin Delano Varian, and they called him Frankie.
Frankie D.
Frankie D.
I don't know. I just said that.
That's actually what they call him. Frankie D.
Sounds like a mobster name. Yo, Frankie.
And he was very good looking guy. And his wife was rather elegant too, Connie. I think you met Harry, my mother-in-law.
No, that was Sally.
No, Harry didn't meet Sally. Harry met Maybelle and absolutely loved her. My mother-in-law was top of the line woman, and Uncle Harry was I'll go with hermit. He was rather gruff, and he didn't like very many people, but he absolutely adored my mother-in-law. And my mother-in-law, Miss Maybelle, was a very good woman. And while she's not my DNA, she's a very good woman. And I absolutely adored Maybelle. But Harry was a very good woman. And
Harry was a good woman?
All of Mom's siblings had at least 2 children or adopted children. I have a very large extended family on Mom's side. but most of them are in West Virginia, Ohio, and that area. And there's
So one of the things I remember
get to see
from
'em.
one of the things I remember from your folks was from you know, Mama and Daddy Quack. I spent a lot of time with Mama and Daddy Quack growing up. We were pretty close by.
Mm-hmm.
And Papa never did a lot of hunting or fishing,
Correct.
and he wasn't interested in that. He, you know, wasn't taught that, so he didn't teach me. I went with Daddy Quack a couple of times hunting, deer hunting. We never got any deer, so I've never actually, you know, killed a deer. I might want to do that eventually because that's a great way to supplement food on the homestead, and we've got plenty of deer in this area. And anyway, but I went hunting with him once, and apparently he said afterward that I was talking the whole time, and that's why we didn't catch any, you know, we didn't shoot any deer.
I've been hunting with him.
But anyway, I remember, you know, deer hanging out in the tree where they'd clean them and then let them sit, you know.
Kind of like when we killed Jacob and dressed him out.
That was our goat that tried to kill Papa, and he said, "I'm not having this," and we ended him and butchered him, and some of him is still in the freezer. Took him to put him in some roast and took him to church, and everybody loved it until they found out it was goat, and then didn't love it anymore.
They didn't like capering.
Yeah.
But dressing a deer out is no different than dressing the goat out. And I've been hunting with Daddy Quack before, and
he used to go fishing at the lake. We have an area close to us, LBL. There's a dam. It's you know, Tennessee Valley Authority, and he used to go fishing over there. And he told me he would take me, one time, but never did.
They do what's called jerking.
Yeah,
a lot.
They do jerking. I caught a fish in my neighbor's pond once, and Papa didn't know really how to clean them or didn't want to. He probably did, he just didn't want to. But I do that same thing all the time. Whenever kids have something broke, I'm like, I don't know how to fix that. Even if I do, I just send them up to Papa. So called Daddy Quack, and he helped clean it, and that was a good memory.
Cleaning fish is a little different than cleaning and all of the chickens and stuff.
Well, those are skills that are important to have, I think. And you know, there's you know, a couple of friends that I watch. One of them just did a, you know, fishing video, and you know, they're good at it, and you know, I need to learn that skill.
Well, you catch them, and I'll help you clean them. I don't.
Well, I want to get a pond over here at some point and get it stocked with fish, so it's an extra food source, and you know, lots of fun too. I enjoy fishing. I've been fishing before, you know, a few times, and it's a lot of fun. I've been hogging before too. Have you ever heard of that? Where you noodling?
Just noodling. Okay.
Hogging, noodling. I think it's called both. Anyway, I went with some friends over before I moved to California, and they would set bathtubs down in Barkley Lake and have a hole cut in it, and you'd get in the water and you'd put your feet in the hole and feel around in there, and you'd feel a big catfish in there. They'd go in there to lay their eggs or you know, protect the nest, and then you'd go in there and then you'd reach between, you know, the person's feet between their, like in their calf area, and the fish would bite you up to about right here, and then spit your hand out and you grab it, and then you'd wrestle it, put it between your legs, and they'd bring you over the boat and just hustle it into the boat. We got, you know, 35, 50-pound catfish that way. A lot of fun, huh?
Spoon cats or just regular cats?
Channel cats, I think.
Okay, that's the kind with, that's not the kind with a spoon bill.
No.
Okay.
That's the kind with a channel.
Okay.
I don't know. I just remember them saying it's cat. I think there were some channel cats, and then there were some blue catfish as well. So
okay. Daddy Quack used to, when he was jerking, he would catch the spoons, the spoon cats.
But
they're fillet. Yeah, you fillet them, and two different type of catfish.
So what else would you would you like?
I'd like to know more about my dad's side of the family, the Patillos.
The reason I ask you what you would like to know is because that might give you a clue as to what to tell the kids or grandkids, what kind of things, you know, to pass on for them. Do you see what I'm saying?
Kinda.
So if you don't know something, if it's something that you're interested in that you don't know, maybe it's something that you've not told them or told me or something before, you know, obviously, you know, Medicine Man and, you know, West Virginia.
I spent a lot of time
Franklin D.
with my grandparents when I was growing up. I spent weeks and weeks with my granny and papa, and my Aunt Naomi and Aunt Helen and Aunt Etta May. I was just, when school wasn't in session, I was not at home. I was never home. I would go to West Virginia and spend time with Grandma and Grandpa and all of the relatives. And I would earn money while I was up there so that I would have money to spend. And before school started back in session, either someone would either meet Mom and Dad halfway or come down and visit from West Virginia and bring me home, or Mom and Dad would come up and visit for a couple of days and get me. I was never home in the
I would spend a week of my summers with when I could, when I was a kid, with my Aunt Donna. That was, she passed away. That was Nana's sister, older sister. And I called her Donna a couple of times, and she said, I am not Donna. Do not call me Donna. I am your Aunt Donna.
Aunt Donna. Aunt Donna.
I am your Aunt Donna.
She was my older sister. She passed away from lupus.
She said something a bunch of times. How'd you fix your face to say those words? How'd you fix your mouth to say those?
How'd you make your mouth say those words? Yep. I love my Aunt Donna.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time with Aunt Donna.
Yeah. I felt special, I suppose, then, because I'm one of 3 children. I've got a brother and a sister, so when I go down there, and I was the youngest. They say that the youngest is babied the most, but I don't think that's so. Not for in my situation. Maybe not even for my children. I don't know, but I do love to snuggle my little baby Abraham. But he's a pretty good snuggler. Anyway, I felt like I was more just the afterthought. My brother would always say to me, because they had trouble, getting pregnant. Mom and Dad did, so they, had all these efforts to get pregnant, and they got pregnant with my brother, and then before they had me, they had my brother, and then my sister, and then Mom had her tubes tied, and then here I came along.
Cut, tied, and cauterized. It wasn't just tied.
So. Her tubes were tied, and then I came along. So my brother, so I was, what do you always say? I was unplanned but not unwanted.
Correct.
She always said that, and my brother would always say, they paid to have me and they paid not to have you. Rubbing that in my face, kind of thing.
Yeah, he says that a lot.
Yeah, he would, he would tell me he could see, light through the other side of my head whenever he would look through. Just brother stuff, I suppose.
When they told me I was pregnant with you, I asked the doctor how that happened, and he said, well, I guess the usual way. But
that's not the only time I've heard of that happening, because there were some friends in California who the same thing happened. I think they had 3 kids, and then she got their tubes tied, and then got pregnant with another one. And I think they, the doctor gave that baby to them for free. Didn't have to, pay any doctor's visits or anything like that.
I did that too.
But
what my insurance didn't cover, I never got a bill for. Not a hospital bill, not nothing.
Yeah.
And you were my shortest labor. It was less than an hour.
Yeah. I'm the runt of the family. I'm about 5'11". I think my sister's about the same height, maybe 5'10", 5'11". She's about the same height, maybe taller, I don't know. And my brother's about 6'5". So I'm definitely the runt of the family. But
I'm the runt now at 5'9".
Yeah. But anyway, this is about 20 minutes, and that's what I wanted to shoot for. I didn't want to shoot for, more than that if we'd run out of stuff to talk about. But again, this kind of stuff, mainly, a couple of you have asked for it, and if you want to watch it, great. I'm not going to promote videos like this. I do promote some of my videos so people can find them, but this is for my family, but it might give you an insight into our family, and, we try to be, open books. If you're interested in stuff like this, then, let me know, comment below any questions you have, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and select all, and come back again tomorrow, and we have a live stream every Sunday night. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.